In this video, I'm going to go over a few different things that you can do to practice becoming more comfortable with using a blade or training with a blade. So the first thing that I'm going to go over is deploying your weapon. So nobody really walks around just with a blade in their hand all the time, ready at the go. So most of the time, you're going to have it in some sort of carrying case or in your pocket or maybe even around your neck as a necklace. So whatever type of weapon that you would be using that you carry around, so if it's a necklace or if it's maybe on your belt, practice deploying that with a safe object. I do not suggest playing around with any sort of real knives. I suggest doing this again with a pen or with a noodle. So practice however you would deploy that. So if it's in your pocket, practice deploying that. So if I put it in my pocket or in my waistband like this, I would practice, oh, someone's coming up and confronting me, I'm going to create space, I'm going to pull out my weapon just to be ready. And then from here I can step in and attack if need be. So that is one thing that you can practice doing, is deploying your weapon. The second thing that you can practice is just throwing random strikes and moving your feet. So if Bob is my opponent, what I can practice is just throwing random strikes, keeping my hands up. So if my hands are up, I'm right here, I want to decide what grip I like best, if I like normal grip or if I like reverse grip. So if you are just now practicing how to use a knife and you just started this section of the curriculum, I suggest trying both out and deciding, I like this one better or I don't like this one, it feels weird. So practice this drill with both grips, so that way you can tell, this is better for my body style, this is better for my height, and this is how I like holding my weapon. So I'm going to show it in both ways, that way you guys can figure out which one you like better. So first one, in a normal grip, I'm just going to throw random strikes. So I'm going to do slashes and thrusts in no particular order, just fluidly move. So I can move backwards, I can move forward, I can move side to side. Now if you're doing this with a partner, I suggest having them have their hands up and face you every time you move. If you have a bag, then obviously your bag isn't going to move. If you're doing this in the air, then it doesn't really matter. Just keep in mind where your opponent would be. So if I was doing this with a partner or on a bag, this is what it would look like. So my hands are up, and I'm just going to throw random strikes. So I'm going to step in, I'm going to move to the side, I'm going to step in and thrust. 1, 2, 3. Just do random strikes. Thrust, 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 slash, slash. Move to the side, keep my hands up, be fluid on my feet. Slice, slice, punch. You can even throw in the different kickboxing drills that we worked on in the empty hand curriculum, because when you're doing any sort of combat, anything is allowed. So it's not just you can use your knife, just you can use your hands. If you're in a life or death situation, do whatever you can to get out of that situation safely and as fast as possible. So when I'm doing this, I can practice throwing in any sort of punches, palm strikes, elbows, anything like that. So when I'm using my knife, if I get super close, I can come right here, elbow, slice, thrust, punch, palm strike, move to the side, slice, slice, knee. Practice any sort of things like that. Kind of free flow with all the different strikes that you've learned so far, just to become more familiar with them, so that way you'd be more likely to remember them in a real life situation. So again, you're just practice the same thing in a reverse grip. So slicing, thrusting, moving side to side, throwing a couple strikes in there, palm strike, punches, stabs, whatever you may want to practice. So those are 2 drills that you can practice on your own to become more familiar with using your different kickboxing strikes and with using your knife, and figure out which grip you like better, a normal or a reverse.